A very good afternoon to you and welcome to our lunchtime news. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. President Maithripala Sirisena, who was on a 4-day state visit to India, returns to the island. Minister Ratnasiri Ramanayaka says that he will stand for the right actions of the new government. Temperatures in Nuvarelu drops to 5 degrees Celsius. And Italian Coast Guards rescued 265 migrants stranded at sea in 3 separate operations. And now your stories in detail. United National Party parliamentarian N. Parliamentarian, who was arrested on the charges of assaulting a member of the Agglawatha Pradesh Sabha, was released on bail today. Now, bail was granted by the Mathugama Magistrates Court and the MP was released on 2 sureties of 50,000 rupees each. The magistrate ordered the passport of the MP be impounded and the case will be taken up again on the 28th of this month. UMP MP Parliamentarian was arrested on the 21st of January for making an Agglawatha Pradesh Sabha member kneel. The group of fisheries unions staged a protest against the decision for a transfer of the manager of the Galle Harbour, Niranjan Dissanayake. The protest was staged opposite the Galle Fisheries Harbour. The demonstration was staged blocking the Galle Matra main road. President Maithripala Sirisena returned to the island this morning after concluding his 4-day official visit to India. The presidential media unit said that after engaging in religious observances at the Tirupati Kovil during the early hours of this morning.
President Sirisena called on a number of high-ranking officials during his visit, including Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Pranab Mukherjee. President Sirisena, who engaged in religious observances at Bodh Gaya yesterday, also paid homage to the historic Vijay Sri Rama Bodhiya. Presidential Media Director Dharmashri Bandara Ekanayaka said that President Sirisena's visit to India was successful following the positive response received from high-ranking Indian officials.
The Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons is set to conduct its next hearing in the Trincomalee district. Chairman of the Commission, retired High Court Judge Maxwell Parnagama, said that the hearing will take place on the 28th of this month as well as the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of March. He added that 200 individuals from Trincomalee that lodged complaints have been sent summons to be present for their cases to be heard in court. The Presidential Commission that was appointed to carry out investigations into missing persons has completed investigations in Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mena, Mullaitivu and Batticaloa. Maxwell Parnagama said that the total number of complaints investigated so far amounts to 2,000, while the Commission has received a total of 19,500 complaints. The United States has welcomed the signing of Civil Nuclear Cooperation Agreement between India and Sri Lanka, saying it is consistent with IAEA and safeguards and other international standards and practices.
Asked about the recent agreement signed between India and Sri Lanka on civil nuclear cooperation, US State Department spokesperson Jen Psaki said that they are aware of the announcement but refrain from making any further comment on the deal. According to the nuclear deal, India will assist Sri Lanka in developing its civil nuclear energy infrastructure, including sharing of resources, training of personnel and extending expertise. It will also facilitate cooperation in radioactive waste management and nuclear and radiological disaster mitigation and environmental protection.
Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraweera will visit China next week in the highest-level trip to Beijing by a member of the new government, the Chinese foreign media said, and as China seeks to ensure the safety of its investment there.
Chinese Foreign Minister spokeswoman Hua Chunying said that Sri Lankan Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraweera would meet his Chinese counterpart and other officials on his February 27 to 28 trip.
We hope to use the opportunity of this visit by Foreign Minister Samaravira to have a further deep exchange of views on the future of Sino-Sri Lanka ties under this new situation and make plans for high-level communications and practical cooperation in every field in order to further push forward the Sino-Sri Lanka strategic partnership of sincere mutual assistance and traditional friendship.
A senior Chinese envoy, Assistant Foreign Minister Liu Jingchao, visited Colombo earlier this month, and President Maithripala Sirisena will visit China in March.
UPFA parliamentarian Ratnasiri Wickramanayake says that he will constantly stand by the correct actions of the government. MP Wickramanayake made this statement at an event held in Horana.
The event was held to donate school supplies to the students in Horana.
Some are saying that we are debtors to the United National Party. How are we in debt to them? This puzzles me. Did any of the UMP ministers who hold portfolios ever in their dreams imagine that they would become what they are today? If they hadn't entered into a partnership like this with us, they would have never been able to become ministers. It was a fluke. The Prime Minister is there because of our grace. So is the Cabinet. How can we be in debt to them? If at all, the UMP is in debt to us. We are in no way in debt to them by even the slightest margin. We are bound to support the government's programs.
Ever since the 9th of January, all you see in the media and all around the newspapers are stories of cop and thief, people carrying files showing acts of thievery. Another group of people convene media briefings and reveal other acts of thievery. The person accused of thievery is running behind the thief. This is rather astonishing. Ultimately, they have not captured any thief, neither can they find a thief to produce in court. Come to think of it, those screaming about thieves are worse than the actual thieves. It is a wonderful act, however. Any government after toppling another government is all huff and puff at the beginning. So is this government. It doesn't matter who. I say that we will commit ourselves to do the right thing, to take this country forward regardless of the change in government, change in faces and the change in colour.
Minister of Foreign Employment Thalathathu Korala says that although migrant workers are resourced to the country, the responsibility of the child lies upon the parent. Minister Korala made this statement while addressing an event held in Gampa yesterday.
An event to award scholarships under the Children's Emigration Scholarship Program to children of parents who surpassed the Grade 5 Scholarship, GCE Ordinary Level and Advanced Level Examination working overseas was held in Gampa yesterday. These scholarships were awarded to 516 children of parents in the Gampa district working overseas and registered under the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. When taking a look at some of the heartbreaking incidents that have transpired from the time I took office at this ministry, it is disappointing as to why these people aren't mindful enough of their own children. On one hand, we are proud because our migrant workers are a resource to this country and for what they bring into this country. However, it is unbearable when we receive reports of such incidents, because every single time we are under the belief that they have put aside their responsibilities. So I make one request, that you fulfill your responsibilities as parents.
The 172nd Media and Leadership Workshop organized by Newsfirst, aiming to enhance the media literacy of the students in the country, is underway at the Puhulwella Mahavidyalaya in Mathura. The Newsfirst team were extended a warm welcome from the students of the school upon their arrival. The students were educated on television news reporting with the attendance of the executive officers of the MTV MBC network. Students were also given an understanding on communication and new technology with the use of the practical exercises. In addition, the students were also given an insight into news media as well. Deputy Minister of Urban Development and Water Supply and Drainage, Dinesh Ganakande, says that China and Korea are lined up outside his ministry to provide loans to Sri Lanka. He made this statement at a progress review meeting held in Ratnapura yesterday.
The meeting was held at the Ratnapura Urban Development Office to look into the progress of projects implemented under the Ratnapura Urban Development Authority.
China, Korea,
China and Korea lined up outside Prime Minister to provide us loans up to $5 billion at an interest rate of 0.1%. I asked our leader what we should do, as we have many projects, and the government of China and Korea have lined up at my office to provide us with loans. He then told me that he would consult Minister Rauf Hakim and the Governor of the Central Bank as to what kind of program needs to be implemented before taking another loan.
As of late, residents of Nuwara have been experiencing snowfall during the early hours of the morning. Now, the reason behind its cold weather prevailing in the area. Now, the rare occurrence, which was added more color to the cold environment of Nuwara, has attracted both local and foreign tourists. The Department of Meteorology states that the current temperature in Nuwara is between 5 and 6 degrees Celsius. For those who crave the cold and chilly weather, this is a perfect opportunity. An individual has been hacked to death in Anakatawa, Kekirawa, and the media said that this was a story which we were able to get today.
According to the police, the murder was a result of a heated argument going out of hand. The deceased has been identified as 42-year-old AG Sunil Karunaratna. A local in the area has been arrested in connection to the incident.
And that wraps up the lunchtime news for this. Do join us again at 1:55 for more news.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.